good, right?
Ready?
Yeah, never had this before. That's great.
We're live.
All right.
Hey everybody, it's Pat Hobbs, Athletic Director at Rutgers. I'm here with Scott Schomburg, our Principal Architect from Perkins Eastman, and Sarah Baumgartner, our Deputy Athletic Director. And we've never done this before, so this is the first Rutgers Athletics Facebook Live event. If it's a disaster, it will be the last, so hopefully it doesn't end up being a disaster. We wanted to do this because we wanted to bring you an update on where we are in the Big Ten build. So if you remember, we started this just a little over a year ago. We announced it, I came on board. Everybody said to me, what's the number one thing we need to do? Facilities, facilities, facilities. So we went out there and we said, let's get going. We got a great boost, great start from our governor and the legislature with the $25 million of tax credits. And then every senior staffer here and every head coach has made a commitment to the Big Ten build. And then we started coming out to you. So Sarah, where do we stand?
Well, Pat, thank you, and this is exciting. Glad to be here to all of Rutgers Nation watching. It's exciting because right now we're 14 months later to be able to share that we are $71 million to our goal, and of that $71 million, Pat talked about the $25 million from the state, and 46 of that's been privately raised. We have 2,000 donors, and we have a fantastic community of captains as well. So we have 30 captains who've also supported us with $350,000 of support.
It's fantastic, fantastic. So over 71 million total private and public support, 29 million to go. So somebody out there who's got a $29 million gift, right, we'll take it, plus everybody else who's talking with us, right? So first, I guess we should start talking about the facilities that are already open. So I think most of you saw when we opened the Ron and Joanna Garudi strength and conditioning area for football, and it's had a dramatic effect already on our recruiting, right? So it's really where we bring those football recruits in, they see it, they see they're going to get the best in class in terms of a strength and conditioning area, off the charts great. And then just a short while ago, we opened the Fred Hill baseball and softball training complex. I'll tell everybody, our students are no longer calling it the Fred Hill baseball softball complex. They're calling it the Fred Hill Castle. So for some reason, it's become the castle, and it's fun. Any time of day or night you arrive here, you hear the ping of bats. It was great when we opened it. Todd Frazier and Pat Kivlahan came. Now they're down in training camp, but they keep showing how good Rutgers Athletics is doing out there. We beat Miami in that big game, right? 18-6, I think. And Juwan Harris.
And I would say the facility that helped us get
facility,
they got it done.
That was Juwan Harris. So, and then we're not slowing down, right? So we're 6 months away from, maybe less than 6 months away from opening the Marco Battaglia practice fields in football, right? Through the generosity of Jeff and Amy Towers, tremendous. So Scott, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about, it's not just throwing seed down and building some practice fields, is it?
It sure isn't. This is going to be one of the top facilities in the country. It's the same kind of grass and level surface that professional teams have. It'll be at top of the Big Ten. It'll allow the team to help with recruiting and practice and provide the kind of facility that they need to take it to the next level.
And talk about the aesthetics of it. When people drive up, what are they going to see?
So this is going to fit in with the kind of historic campus. There's a brick wall enclosing it. There'll be a large video board so that on game day, for fans coming to the game, they can see and participate in the environment leading up to the game. There'll be a main entry gate that will formally let the players come in and out of the facility. And then the facility on the inside is supported with a storage facility that allows the team to have the best equipment to maintain the fields and for practice. It's really
it will be the envy of everyone, right? In the Big Ten, better than a lot of NFL teams we're going to have, right?
Exactly.
And that video board is going to be exciting too, right? Because that's going to face out to the corner Scarlet Knight Way,
right,
where we got Athletes Glen. So everybody's going to see our warm-ups in the stadium and everything else going to activate that whole area. So very, very exciting. But we haven't just been building over that side of the campus. Right, we've been doing some things right here in the RAC as well. Sarah, tell us what's going on in the RAC.
So a lot of changes here. I think that's important to know that we have a lot of fans who are passionate about what we're doing here at the RAC, and as we're building these facilities, what can bridge us to the future? And so we've had some fantastic support in two areas. The first is our locker room for men's basketball, the Sudam family locker room. And for those who know basketball, know that Abe Sudam is the godfather.
The godfather, right?
The godfather of men's basketball, and what a tremendous honor for him and his family, and for Reich and the Sudam family. We thank you guys, because this locker room was probably 15, 20 years outdated in terms of where we're at and our peers. And people ask, well, we're investing in this locker room right now for men's basketball, but ultimately this locker room is going to become a game day locker room for both basketballs, wrestling, and gymnastics. So for the long term is that these upgrades are going to help all of our programs in that space. And some of the upgrades are technology, the digital, the film room got updated, the carpeting, the paint, the lights, the lockers, cabinets, everything just needed a little love. So the locker room is going to be, it's a fantastic space. And the second big, that actually really no one knows about.
Let me stop you for a second on the locker room, because the comment that I hear, like after one of our recent games, we were standing there toward the hallway going into the locker room, and somebody walked by and they said, "Whoa, this is Rutgers." So our intention is we're going to make a lot of people say, "Whoa, this is Rutgers."
With everything we're doing now, it's "Whoa, this is Rutgers." And the one that actually no one really knows about is the RAC weight room. And right now we're servicing, I think, 200 student athletes, maybe more, 12 of our sports out of the RAC weight room. And you can see some of the stuff right now that they're doing. We're live in action getting that weight room renovated for the same exact reason. When we're talking about recruiting, we got to show space that's state of the art, that our student athletes can get better in. And so that includes, again, a complete renovation of space, and it'll be new technology, state of the art equipment. And to the donors, Bob and Harriet, who helped us do this, again, they're passionate about the RAC, they're passionate about the student athlete experience. And this weight room, which we're going to be opening up brand new in April, is a phenomenal start to that.
And some of these videos that folks are watching, I think I saw you over in the corner putting up some drywall. Is that right?
I was talking to the engineer. I was like, "How can I help you?" He's like, "We got a lot going on."
All right. So then the other tremendous facility that we're going to be, we did our ceremonial groundbreaking, and we're going to be going in the ground this summer, is the RWJ Health Athletic Performance Center. And first, I want to say shout out to RWJ Barnabas Health, the premier healthcare organization here in New Jersey. And this started as a small conversation around how do we give our athletes the best in training, right? So our training staff, how do we add to that training staff? How do we add a little nutrition? And then we got talking with Barry Ostrowski, and he said, "Hey, why don't we think bigger here? Why don't we think about a best-in-class sports medicine practice here at Rutgers University, marry those two brands together?" And I know Rutgers and RWJ Barnabas Health is talking about a lot of other exciting things, but this is sort of a starting point, a focal point, and it's going to benefit our 625 student athletes, but it's going to benefit athletes throughout the state of New Jersey and the region. So really, really exciting. But I think, Scott, what people want to know is what's in the building. So tell us what's in the building.
All right. So this is the home for men's and women's basketball, for wrestling, and for gymnastics. So we'll have the latest state-of-the-art facilities, locker rooms, training facilities, sports medicine, strength and conditioning, nutrition, all kinds of spaces that the student athletes, the coaches, the trainers all need in order for Rutgers to transform into the future. And in addition to that, on the back, as you mentioned, the RWJ Barnabas Sports Medicine Center, that allows the teams, the student athletes in Livingston and on campus to have the kind of facilities that only a few teams in the country have. Talking the Dallas Cowboys, the Los Angeles Lakers, a few collegiate teams, to be able to rehab, to go to hydrotherapy just down the hall in the RWJ Barnabas Sports Medicine facility is really going to be something to help student athletes do their best.
So when people ask me, I always say the question I get is, are you doing it the right way? Is you're going to do this the right way? So answer that question. Are we doing this the right way?
Absolutely. This allows everybody that's going to be in that facility to have what they need to do the best on and off the court, to be able to practice, to be able to train, to rehab, to study. For coaches, student athletes, administrators, support staff, this is this will be at the top of the Big Ten and top of peer institutions across the country.
And I remember when we were having the conversations with the coaches, because one of the things people should feel really good about is all of our coaches and even some of our athletes have been involved in giving comment about the way we're doing it. And I love the contrast between Scotty Goodale, our wrestling coach, and Lou Levine, our gymnastics coach. So Scott came in and he didn't have a plan for it. He just said, "Don't make it too nice, right?
Yes, yeah.
We want these are wrestlers. We don't want to get them too comfy in there."
Yes.
And Lou came in with literally it measured foot by foot across an Excel spreadsheet. Talk about our coaches and the involvement that they've had.
Yeah, this is great. This is catered specifically to Rutgers. So what we're doing is trying to provide the best in practice, but specifically to what Rutgers needs. So we've worked very closely with all the coaches that'll go in here and coaches on the Livingston campus and other sports that are here, so that everything that they need is provided in the facility.
So Sarah, what else is on tap here? What about the soccer lacrosse complex?
I know. Okay, so the big one that everyone has questions on, which I think there's going to be, hopefully, I think there's some questions coming in on what we're doing here. But like we've been talking about, this is the best of the best. We want to build a facility that that can compete with all of our peers in the Big Ten and nationally. And we have two programs that, for us, are they're programs that we know can do very well here. So I'm going to turn to Scott because he's the expert in terms of having the pieces of the facility that are going to be make this the best, but it's going to be a fantastic spot.
Yeah, these are really exciting because, again, we can help support Rutgers transform, and these programs are really doing well now, and this allows those programs and those sports to just continue to go to the next level. So we're very early on in the process with these, but we're providing the latest in locker room fit out, the strength and conditioning, the sports medicine, again, all the things that you just need in order for student athletes to train and rehab and perform on and off the field.
And the other really important thing is the location of this facility. I don't know if we already put up the map, but if we have, those of you saw it. So if you think about High Point Solutions Stadium and URSAC Field, this is almost dead center between those two complexes. You can see it now, it's up on the screen. So that red block is the soccer lacrosse complex. You got Athletes Glen right between it and High Point Solutions Stadium. And this is also part of the Rutgers University Master Facilities Plan 2030. So all of this will animate the Bush campus in a way that's going to be exciting. You can see those arrows, the blue arrows. These are all going to be pedestrian corridors and corridors where people come in and out of the athletic complex of the Bush campus. So really, really exciting because our students will be no more than 3 minutes walk away from any part of the athletic complex. So it gives us a lot of flexibility as we move into the Big Ten and as we move into championship level Big Ten competition.
Yeah, Pat, you were saying this is really done the right way, so it's tied into the master plan for both athletics and for the campus, and that allows for it to work on game day for football. It works for the day-to-day operations for the student athletes in soccer and lacrosse. It allows them to be more efficient with their day. It allows them to go to the facilities at the Hale Center, to go to their competition for lacrosse at High Point Solution Stadium, and for the soccer team to go across to URSAC. And it really is set up right now to provide everything that you could need for those programs.
So our kids are going to walk into their facility, they do their strength and conditioning there, they get taped by their trainers there, they get their nutrition there, and then they walk right out of their locker room onto their practice fields, and that's best in class.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too, I think the one thing that in this whole process that we've really, I think, Pat, to your credit, is just asking the right questions. I think for a long time at Rutgers, we've not asked the right questions in terms of
100%.
What do you need? And we've had a lot of those moments, and I think everyone out in Rutgers Nation knows that we've had those kind of moments where we're really going to get this done. And even I've had that question of, are we going to get this done? And due to cost, or are we getting to the right number? But at the end of the day, Pat, you keep answering the question of, let's do it right. And we've had those really, really heart-to-heart moments where this could cost more, but in the end of the day, we're asking the questions, what do you need? And at the end of the day, we've got a leader that says, let's do it the right way. So,
Yeah.
And Scott, that makes Scott very happy.
Yeah.
Well, and because we're doing it that way, right, because that's the way we're talking to folks, they're responding, right? So we've got $29 million to go, but of course we want to go through that number. So what are our next steps here? How are we getting the grassroots report out? There's still folks out there who are considering some very, very large commitments to this, and we want to have them feel really good and committed to what we're doing. So what are our next steps here?
Hold on one second. I think we actually have a question coming in from the fans. Let's hear it.
All right, question. Will the current offices in the RAC be renovated or included in the Athletic Performance Center? So maybe talk about our little RAC master plan, Scott.
Sure. So what we're doing right now is to work to make sure that we do things the right way. And we have the opportunity, working together with you, to ensure that the APC, the Athletic Performance Center, has the right facilities in it, and it's got flexibility for the future, and that we're doing it at the same time that we're thinking about how the future of the RAC plays out, so that we're able to address things that make sense, that there's flexibility into the future, and that the spaces that are created or vacated from the RAC can be best used in the future as new buildings are put up.
And that's important because, for Title IX purposes, we want to give more space to some of our women's programs that have been a little space starved, right? Softball, field hockey, so there'll be opportunity in here for that. So take all of that soon-to-be vacated space and purpose it in a way that makes sense, and we do it the right way again. I think we got another one coming in from our Scarlet Knight. what Big Ten championships will we be able to host at Rutgers because of the new facilities? Well, we're going to host one on March 18th, gymnastics.
Yes.
So anybody who's not already bought your tickets, it's incredibly exciting. If you haven't come to college gymnastics, March 18th, here in the RAC, Big Ten championships, you got to come.
And our goal is that that Rutgers that has the best attendance of all time in hosting Big Ten championships. So we need the state to rally. It's our chance. I told our team, some are in this room right now, this is our moment to showcase not only Rutgers but the Big Ten. So that's a big one.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So what else do we tell our folks before we leave today?
I think just the gap. And I think just talking about the strategy of getting there, and it's going to be a combination of both grassroots and our major gifts, and it's going to be a broad family. We've got 2,000 donors right now that have committed. Our goal's always been 10,000, and so I think we're not going to shy away from that. Just like when we talk about the question of, well, it could cost more. Is that going to make it doing it the right way? We're going to do things the right way, but it's going to take all 10,000 people to get there. So while we're only at 2,000 right now, I hope it's to all of our fans that they understand that we need them. We need the family big. We need to cast the net wide.
So there are a lot of people following us right now. There are going to be thousands of reviewing this, for better or for worse, right? And if everyone out there makes a commitment, then we truly are building Rutgers together, right?
We got another question.
Oh, another question. Who is Scott?
I'm Scott.
I thought I said that. This is our architect. This is Scott Schomburg, and Scott has become a fanatic Rutgers fan already. He brings his daughters to the game. His parents have come in for the games. This is the guy from Perkins Eastman. They have built athletic facilities all over the world for Olympics, for major NFL franchises. We got the best architect on the planet. This is our guy.
And maybe talk about some of the
schools.
schools you also worked with.
We're working right now. One of the exciting project is up at Providence. They're doing it's an exciting project, but we're excited about Rutgers.
And you've done Notre Dame facilities. You've done
Our-
Michigan
our
facilities,
team,
right?
Our team has been working on those, and it's again we want to focus here on what we're doing at Rutgers, and it's really what's very exciting here is that there's the foundation in place and being put in place now, so that what you're doing is going to pay off immediately as soon as these facilities come online, and it's going to allow student athletes and teams to do what they couldn't do before, to improve recruiting, to improve their ability to recover and train, and to be able to take things at the next level.
And one of the things that, because you have been all over the place in terms of building facilities, and not even architecture, but you talked about the people of Rutgers and the fans of Rutgers, and speak to that a little bit, because you're sort of that independent third party. I mean, I think we have the most passionate fans in the world, but you've seen other fans, so comment on that.
No, the fans, the administrators, the coaches, this is really something that we don't see often, where everybody's on the same page, you have good people, they're in alignment, and the schools that have that are the ones that are able to be successful. So to support that with facilities that allow your teams and the student athletes to just do their work and study, then the sky's the limit. So
Another question.
Any plans to add
the campus shop.
Campus shop. You talk about retail. I assume that's about retail, right? So maybe we could talk a little bit about our new partnership with Adidas and what Adidas is doing in the Athletic Performance Center.
Yeah. So the Athletic Performance Center has a lobby and Hall of Fame in the ground floor that opens up to the plaza in front of the RAC, or what will be in the future a new plaza in front of the RAC. And at that spot is a place for a spirit store, to have a little coffee shop, and to animate the space before basketball games, gymnastics events, and just on the day-to-day basis to help frame out the rest of the Livingston campus.
You know, we didn't talk about the lobby of the new Athletic Performance Center, RWJ Barnabas Health's Athletic Performance Center, because that's a really special place, right? Steve Plofker and Bobby Brown going to be committed. I've made the commitment to that space. That's going to be truly something awesome, right?
It really will. This is something that when you have Selection Sunday in the near future, the teams are going to sit there, and that's where they'll be on TV to see where their seat is. It'll work for team meetings. It'll work for community or the campus groups to meet there. It'll work on game day. It'll work on non-game day. And that's also the spot where the student athletes on the Livingston campus come for nutrition. So it's all part of this active space that you don't see often in a training facility. A lot of times they're off in the distance, and it's just student athletes. This allows this to be part of the campus, to be part of the Livingston campus, and for students to be part of it as well.
It's terrific, terrific. Sarah, as you've been here now 4 years, no, a little 3 years, right? So what change have you seen in the last 12 months, 13, 14 months of folks in terms of where they believe we're going?
That's a great question. I think, and we've got a lot of staff in this room who are so passionate. They've been on the journey, right? And I think that what Scott said, the word alignment, and I think there's no more powerful word in alignment. And it starts with the governor, to the president, to our board of governors, to the president of the foundation, to our leadership in athletics. And Pat, I know you're here with us now, but you got to brag a little bit on this guy and his leadership. But for the first time, and I've talked to folks who've been here a lot longer than I have, alignment is finally here, and it's real. So I think when you have the power of everyone rowing the same direction, we're there, and that's the fun part.
All right,
We got more stuff coming in.
The questions are now flowing in here big time. So, Scott, maybe the most important question that you will get today.
All right.
You ready for this?
All right.
All right. I mean, the support of the Rutgers Nation could be hanging in the balance here.
All right.
Taylor Ham or pork roll?
Oh. I'm going to go with the pork roll.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I think you've
Blaze the
made
light up.
2/3 of Rutgers Nation happy.
All right.
You've disappointed the athletic director
All
because
right.
I grew up in Northern Jersey. It's Taylor Ham, egg and cheese sandwich. So, all right, now we got another question. Timing for the soccer lacrosse facility groundbreaking.
That's great.
So, well, the facility and the Athletic Performance Center are going to all open the summer of 2019.
Right.
And then groundbreaking of soccer lacrosse, it's coming soon.
So that's really important because folks, they ask that question. So when it's going to open? You could dig a little hole in the ground and you can play around that hole a little bit and move some pipes around the property. We actually we made the date, right? We said July 18th, 2019. Both of those facilities are going to open. So we're committed to doing that.
Yep.
You guys are going to get it done.
We got a team of 30 people working around the clock to get this done.
We're going to need more than 30
we'll be-
people.
Yeah.
We're going to need some construction people on that site
that's-
too.
All right, I got one thing for you, Pat, too.
Okay.
Just talk about, because we've talked about our campaign, right? And this is kind of our 1 year to not reintroduce it, but just to, talk about the results, how we've been successful, but that we got to close this gap to get us to 100, and the kind of campaign slogan theme, and just, kind of how this really is just not just about athletics, but this is about the entire university.
Yeah. So it's really important. I mean, I talk about building Rutgers together, right? What Dr. Barchi has done with integrating the hospitals and the medical schools. I mean, we're a $4 billion university now, one of the premier universities in the world. And athletics hasn't always acted as a unifying force. Sometimes it's been a divisive force, and that's not when athletics is doing it right. We can be this tremendous leavening and unifying and enhancing effect where whatever the sport that we're watching, you feel really good about being part of Rutgers University. That's our obligation as folks who are working here in athletics. So we're not saying let's build Rutgers athletics. We're saying building Rutgers together. And it's our campaign that will launch into eventually a university campaign, but at a time where we're having great success in our sports. We're winning Big Ten championships. People are there. Look, I hear from everybody, I'm wearing my block R more now, right? Folks, I've met folks in New York City and say, I'm seeing the R again, all right? And so let's build Rutgers together. Let's keep seeing the R out there. Will the very important question, it's not
I
Taylor
don't think you
Ham or
need me
pork
for this
roll.
one. I think you can.
Will the
Well
RAC
done,
exterior be updated? So let me talk to that a little bit because yes, right. Ultimately, we've got to do something here at the RAC. We're one of the smallest venues in the Big Ten. I don't want to make this 18,000 seats, but the RAC is a tremendous advantage for us. Those who were at our Michigan game the other night, it was loud again. It was finally like you hear that power. And of course, we struggled down the stretch a little bit, but we're right there. And we're right there. But then we've got to make this a great game day experience for our fans. And so we're going to have to both do things inside and make the seating a little bit better. I'd love to get our students closer to the court. And then we need to build a concourse around the outside. And we didn't put the map up of the outside of here, but when we open the Athletic Performance Center and we have the RAC, there's this beautiful plaza area outside. And one of the things that we want to do is sort of as a phase one to the exterior. Those of you who know the current front of the RAC, we want to bring a new facade across that, put a big LED screen in there, and then on days like this where it's 70 degrees outside, our students can come over and then we'll put stuff on that screen, a little bit like the Yard, right? So, the Yard's been tremendously successful, and congratulations to Chris Palladino and the folks who were involved in that. People went and they watched some of our football games there now. They watch basketballs on there now. Well, we want the same thing out here in the RAC, so that when we go on a football weekend and we go away, let's have 5,000 people right outside the RAC looking at that. And then we'll wrap around the rest of the way, and we, again, will be best in class.
And you want to build upon you have an advantage here, a home court advantage, being so close to the court, and it just needs a little love to support the spectator amenities and other things that need to catch up.
Yeah, we want to make this hell for the visiting teams,
Yes.
right? So we want that noise where they have to use hand signals. They can't really just talk to each other and things like that. No chirping in this. And that's part of also building the culture that we're trying to build here, right? So we put out the Rutgers Athletics Creed, and we're still working on that. So those of you who come to our remaining games here, we stand, right? We stand when our players come on the floor. We stand when our players leave the floor. We don't boo our players or an opposing team, right? We're out there with our passion. That's what we're going to be about. Another question here. Is there something in place for the athletics academic spaces? So really important.
Yeah.
Sarah, do you want to speak to the
Yeah, so
academics?
that's come up a lot, and obviously we've got a lot of donors who are passionate about the academic piece, and so part of the RAC master plan, because once you start vacating some of this space, we have the opportunity to look at what can happen from an academic standpoint. And I think our coaches have all identified that they need some type of space in our new facilities for academics, but really the ideal is that we can actually fill some of this RAC with our after master planning efforts and expand our academic space for our kids.
There's space allocated currently in the Athletic Performance Center to address that. The future of the RAC will address that, and the future of the Athletic Master Plan will all address, so it's supporting student athletes.
Yeah, I mean, these buildings that we're putting together, I mean, even some of sort of the nutrition spaces, they'll be comfortable places where our students will want to sit down, they'll log on to whatever they're doing, and there'll be a lot of interaction, but then there'll be the specific academic spaces, places for tutoring, quiet spaces for studying, and that's what this is all about, right? We're not a professional franchise. This is about making it so our students can both become excellent in athletics, but more importantly, achieve excellence in their academics, because that's going to be the rest of their life. And that's the experience. Look, that's the experience that so many of the folks that are probably watching this, they came here, they got a great education, they're really proud of Rutgers. They think of us as one of the elite, and we are one of the elite academic institutions. So we want those students to feel that coming in, and that's why academic support, I always say, you're supporting the Big Ten build, you're not just supporting our students in athletics, you're supporting their academics, because we're making it possible for them to balance their lives in ways that are really, really difficult. Oh boy. All right, next question, the alley. All right, what's happening with the alley? Good question. So we're continuing to work with, first of all, I should say, the student leadership has been amazing. We've had very great conversations with our student leaders. They understand the challenges that we faced with that. It simply wasn't large enough for the capacity that we had. So we want to create another place. We've looked at a couple places and we've met with the students to talk about that. And closer to the stadium, right? So we'll get students into the stadium even more quickly. We've got to work on the alcohol policies, right? So it's got to be an environment that's safe, and we have obligations, not just as administrators, but as parents, to have a safe environment for our students. But we want it to be a really fun environment where we've got food, there's availability of alcohol, we've got some tailgating, and we get students to come into the stadium, and looking at our new video board, right? So that get them somewhere close to that. So we hope to have an update on that as we go forward. And maybe our goal, we would love, is to try to test it a little bit around the spring game.
Another one, Pat.
Can people still become Big Ten captains?
Yes, absolutely. We need all the help we can get. So yes, if interested, you can message us on this, or reach out to the R Fund office. We absolutely need more captains. The goal was 100, but it's going to take well more than 100 of people to be asking and sharing the message of what we're doing.
We have 30 captains right now.
Yep.
They've raised over $350,000. That's huge. That's huge. You see the pictures of our captains, and they continue to be out there asking for support for our Big Ten build. So anyone who's interested in being a captain, we love that. I mean, we should all be fundraisers for Rutgers right now. That is our reality. We're good?
All right, Pat, so before we close, because I know we're getting close to the end, but I feel like we took a big step with Facebook Live and you and technology, and I feel like we get a lot of questions. I know I get hit on my Twitter account a lot. Our staff has been urging you a lot. So I guess I'll just put this out to our fans. I just wonder if they would be interested in Pat Hobbs having a Twitter handle. And your thoughts on that, Pat?
I'm not a Twitter guy. I don't think. I get asked that a lot. You know, there's the problem for Twitter is sort of you can go a little too quickly sometimes with a message. You know, we got a lot of tweeting going on out there right now. I love reading it. I do have my anonymous account, so I do follow our teams and some of the commentary that's out there. And what I love is our fans are really excited. And that's what I see all the time. Our fans are really excited. I said that last night we had the fan advisory committee for football, right? And great ideas, but we had about 30, 40 people in the room. They were all offering their ideas. And to a person, they kept saying, "We love what we're doing. We love where we're going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going." So that's. I'll think about Twitter.
All right, if you think you should have one, now's your time. Make your voice heard. I think we got him close to it.
I'll think about Twitter.
Apparently,
people think it's a good idea. So we'll see about Twitter.
All right.
All right. So we're almost ready to close, I think, right? So I want to remind everybody now. All right. This is really the critical time. All right. So we've got 12 months to run here before we want to say we've topped this. And I don't know how many people have viewed this today. We'll get some information on that as we go forward. But everybody has to come off the sideline. That's what I would say. This is no longer the time to say, you know what, I'll wait, let me see the buildings starting to come up, and then maybe I'll make my commitment. That's not what's happening at other Big Ten schools. At other Big Ten schools, they are all in. And that's why we keep saying you got to be all in, and we're going to build Rutgers together. So what I would say to everybody who's out there paying attention to this, or if you can like it or whatever you do, so you don't want to know Twitter, so it's fine. But get this to as many Rutgers people as you can and say, may not have been the best performance, but they're passionate, they love Rutgers, they want to see Rutgers succeed, and the only way we're going to do it is everybody's got to be all in.
That's great.
Right, Sarah?
Absolutely.
All right, so.
You're going to show the tea?
Oh, wait, there's one knock on the door here. I don't know. Hold on.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hey, Coach.
How we
You're
doing
in the
We're
today?
doing all right.
Let's go. I hear all these exciting things.
So we're trying to raise a little money. We're trying to bring awareness about what we're doing here.
There's
You
no
know?
more exciting time than right now at Rutgers, and so excited to be here. They've done a great job. We need these facilities built now. Take that next step, and we need your help.
And
So jump on board.
And Coach was out there with the shovel this morning trying to dig the foundation himself. So you got to help us now so we don't have to have him doing that.
That's
Thank
right.
you all very much for watching.
Thank you.